At the age of 54 and 2 divorces later, let me give you the marriage advice I wish that I had listened to. Love is not enough. Marry for character, not just chemistry. You're not just marrying them, you're marrying their habits, their debt, and their family drama. Marriage will never fix loneliness. The wrong person will make it worse. You can't marry potential. You're not a life coach, you're a spouse. Being alone is way better than wishing you were. The right person will make you feel safe. The wrong one will make you feel small. We'll figure it out is not a financial plan. Some people don't want love, they want control. Learn the difference. You should be excited to marry them, not just relieved that they finally committed. Be prepared to marry the whole family. Period. Hope that helps.
Shout out to the content creator. Appreciate her sharing her perspective. I'm actually torn on this video because she almost lost me when she was saying how she's divorced twice, not once, but twice. And that automatically shot up a red flag. And I'm like, I was tuning out. But then she actually came back, spitting some facts. And in a nutshell, I mean, she said a lot, but like a few things that stood out was like, hey, when you marry this person, you actually marry the whole family. Some people want control, right? And so on and so forth. What I take from that is kind of all inclusive is be your own person before you get married, right? Already have kind of the self-development. Now, that doesn't mean you have to come into the situation perfect, but at least come in knowing yourself. And I think a lot of us don't. Because, hey, it's a natural thing to want to date early and, be in relationships. Everybody's done it. It's just a natural thing. So I'm not saying that. And it's easier said than, well, I'm saying hindsight is 2020. As you get older, you're like, man, I could have did this better, or I should have waited, this and that. So hindsight always 2020. But again, she was spitting facts. She was definitely spitting facts. Obviously, she was talking more to the women, but I think that it's a lot of takeaways from men as well. And you can really take a lot of what she said and apply, to the men as well, not only the women. But I think she just had a great perspective. Again, it's hard. Again, it's a good perspective, but I wouldn't take it as advice because it's hard to take advice from somebody who's been divorced twice. And I'm not gonna say anything. Say that things can't happen, but twice. I kind of give you a pass on the first one, but the second one, yeah. Marriage is already hard enough. You would think that you learn from your first one. And that way you can become the best version of yourself going into the second one. Or you can become the best version while you're in your first one. But, things happen. I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not going to downplay her on the first one. But, again, I don't know what happened, right? I don't know her backstory. So it could have been the same thing for both marriages that made her become separated and divorced from her husband or her spouse. But again, the message of the video hits home. That's the point. Hey, I won't deny what she said was absolutely money. And again, it definitely resonates on both ends of it, men and women. So just make sure, man, you personal develop. You know yourself. You know what you walking into when it comes to these marriages. Again, you are marrying the whole family. You are. I remember when I was getting married to my wife, I met her family, right? I met her dad. Shout out to him. He probably watching. It was interesting meeting, but it was worth it. You know what I mean? When I met her family out of town, I had to show up. You know what I mean? So, but it was worth it because I feel like those moments strengthen us and it builds those bridges to the relationship with her family because these are people who love and endear her, right? And it would be the same for your spouse. These are people who really want the best for them and who love them sincerely and deeply. And they want to know that, you know, if you come into this family, that you're going to show the same love and support that they show her or them. And so, you know, it's a big thing. And I think that in itself, if the family accepts you, and I guess on some level, it don't really matter either, as long as you two love each other. But it matters to me that the family accepts you as well. Because again, it's just an extension of that person that you're marrying. So for me, it matters. Some people it may not. But I say that to say all the different traits that she's talking about, you know, loving yourself and stuff like that, all that'll show up once you meet the family. You know what I mean? All that should show up once you meet the person you're looking to marry. And so it's just very important that, you know, men, we come in at least knowing ourselves. We don't have to be in position where, you know, we got everything figured out. Because, listen, I honestly think, you know, people who even are very successful, like financially, still every day trying to figure it out. I think they just tapped into a vein of life, and they might have found out one thing as far as to raise their lifestyle, but that doesn't mean it raised their happiness. It doesn't mean it raised their spirituality. It doesn't mean that it raised their overall health mentally, right? Physically. And you see this, right? And I don't want to get too far from the topic, but I want to make a point. You see this with a lot of the people who do get tapped in financially very successfully. They end up spending a block back of getting in shape, you know? And so that, I think they know that, especially as a man, that's a big avenue and a big thing that's missing out of our lives when we're not in shape. And that helps us for our health for the long run. And again, it doesn't mean you got to be in there lifting weights every day and, you know, bodybuilding, but it does, you know, you could be stretching, you could be running for cardio, keeping your heart up, keeping your heart healthy, right? Sweating out, you know, and things of that, going swimming, biking, hiking, you know, just staying active, because, you know, health is wealth, man, over money. And you hear the stories all the time when people get to the end of their life. They might have had a lot of money. You hear the stories, and what matters is that, hey, they didn't take care of themselves and give themselves more time. So, but again, the point of it is, to the video anyway, hey, lessons from this young lady here. She was voiced twice, and again, she was just spitting facts. So, you know, what y'all think about this video, man? Drop a comment below. Subscribe to the Husband Code if it's your first time. If you've been watching for a while, subscribe. Also, hit that notification bell so you can see videos like this all the time. And also, if you got any value from this video, hit the like button. But until next time, I appreciate y'all. Much love. Peace.